call this meeting to order. This is a regular Commissioners Court meeting for County of Starr, Monday, January 22nd. Let the record show that we do have quorum, everyone being present. I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you all for being here. Everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any public comments?
There's none, Your Honor.
I don't think we have any outside visitors, so we'll proceed with our agenda. Ms. Alanis, the vendors list. Moved and second to approve. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any claims?
Claims have also been reviewed and are recommended for approval.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Moved and second to approve. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under the reports, we have gas department.
Your Honor and Commissioners, the reports are before you. We have reports for November and December that were tabled last time. We have a surplus in that department of $23,000 for November, $412.93, and for December, another surplus of $42,708 with 50 cents. Are there any questions?
Any questions, comments? Thank you, Ms. Guerra. Transfer station.
Also, I have November, December reports for the transfer station. You go to page 1 after the cover sheet. For November, we had a surplus of $7,358.15. In December, that's the next report, we have a deficit of $37,191 with 66 cents. Any questions?
The deficit on the 37,000 was due mainly to what?
Judge, sometimes the reason it shows a deficit sometimes is because we don't get the check on time
Oh,
for the revenue. So hopefully it'll reflect that we catch up on our next. Yes, sir. Any questions?
no, just one comment on the first one. You said we had a positive of 7,300. However, it's in red.
I know. I need to tell them that it shouldn't have been in red.
Any questions, comments?
Thank you.
Thank you. Tax assessor collector, Ms. Alanis.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. My report is in front of you. If you can follow me, please. Our total collections for December of 2023 for Starr County entities are $1,862,529 with 79 cents. Current collections in December of 2022 were $2,396,916 with 71 cents. There was a total collection of $534,386.92 less than last year. Our total delinquent collections for 2023, just for Starr County entities, were $155,372.61. Total delinquent collections for 2022 were $154,392.68. There was a total delinquent collection of $979.93 more than last year. As of December 31st, my office has collected 28% of the projected collections. Projected collections remaining are $11,518,565.89. Also, our office has collected 19% of the projected delinquent collections. Projected delinquent collections there are projected are $2,481,221.53. Collections made through the American Rescue Plan are $41,366.46. Also, collections made through the Motor Vehicle Department are $50,167.78. That completes my report. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. I'll be in my office. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Salinas. Okay, moving on with our agenda, item 7 is action item is to approve a notice of election for March 5th, the primary election. Ms. Martinez.
Hi, good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Let me see, what's number 1, what's first? Notice of elections. Let me go ahead and pass this. I'm going to go ahead and pass these out first. It's in order. Okay, for the first thing on my agenda is the primary election, notice of election. For early voting, I have Roma Community Center, La Rosita Public Library, El Cenizo Park, and Starr County Commissioners Courtroom for early voting. Early voting, the state now requires that in one location, in our main location, we open on Saturday and Sunday. And then on the second week of early voting, it's 7 to 7, and only in the main location.
So you're going to open up one Saturday, the first Saturday of the,
Yes, on the,
that's on on each precinct, or?
no más the main voting site, que es the courthouse,
And what can we have like over there in Cenizo?
if that's what you
We
would
can-
like.
Yeah, I'd like to have that day, Saturday.
Also El Cenizo, or
In
to,
Cenizo, yeah.
okay, I'll amend.
You said Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday, yes,
No, only one day,
You only want Saturday?
yeah.
Saturday, El Cenizo, Saturday. I'll go ahead and amend from 7 to 7. I'll go ahead and amend the notice if you want for early voting.
Yeah.
And then for election day, I used the 14 locations that we've used for most of our elections. We need one location in each precinct. And I don't know if you have it in front of you, if they're okay.
Is that okay?
On my precinct, yes.
What's that?
The locations for
Oh, yeah.
early election day?
No problem.
Como quiera, I'll double check the address for La Grulla Elementary School.
Your election day.
Ahí está su móvil,
Yeah, motion and second to approve, as discussed. Any further discussion? All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is also an action item, and this is to approve election workers for the primary election.
Yes, for the primary election, I gave you the list.
This for the early voting, right?
Yes, I gave you for the early vote. Another one has the runners. Those are the guys that I usually have running, taking the machines, the IT guys. I have 2 clerks for the mail-ins, and then later on we'll bring the election day workers. And then
I don't have
I,
a problem with the,
Okay, I guess just for information on the runners, we had to hire them a couple of days early
yes,
because we had to move the equipment from the storage that we had here. We bought some containers that they're at the annex, they're under lock and key. So we had to bring them so they could move the equipment.
yes, I think they've already done, getting everything out. I think they're ya están en los last. And right now, pues, we need them so we can start getting the machines ready.
I'd just like to offer some information in regards to that. Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. Of course, this is my first primary, my first election, actually, working with Ms. Armandina, Ms. Martinez. I've been in communication with the Secretary of State because I don't like to get anything wrong. I like to follow everything exactly the way it's stipulated. I was actually asked to turn in the list of election workers back in July, which I did. I submitted it to Ms. Armandina. I know that this county has traditionally done things in a certain way. It may be kind of awkward that I might present to you all some information that was not traditionally done, and that is because I'm following exactly as the state requests. I do not want, moving forward, that now we have a Republican Party somewhat active in our area or attempting to become very active in our area to put us in a position where we're not following the state guidelines. And so because of that, and because I'm not truly a politician, I'm really just looking at making sure that everything is done exactly the way the state stipulates. We're now filing financial reports, which was a process that was not in place prior to. We have a new elections administrator, and she and I have been working on how we're going to keep track of that because previously, I know the Republican Party made an issue of the county judge not having that on file. It was not something done deliberately. It was something that was not actually in place. So as candidates came in to file for this particular primary, I did give them the information. I gave them the forms. I know even Mr. Garza, which is not on the ballot, has asked me about that process. So moving forward, I might not have all the answers, but I will ask and make them clear. So that was one of the issues that came up. Also, the list of workers was asked to be submitted in July, so I did submit those with the intention that I know that now there's candidates on the ballot like Mr. Garza and actually Mr. Perez, that we would be able to tweak them and modify it moving forward to the election because, of course, the people that were available in July might not want to work now in March. We actually have new precinct chairs in some areas. We were able to fill some. I still have 2 vacancies in precinct 4. Well, actually your precinct, but I don't remember the exact precinct number. But moving forward, I intend to fill those. I did fill a few vacancies. So that was Alberto Escobedo's no longer precinct chair and Amanda Solis. Actually have the names of the people that filled those spots. Okay, so now in precinct 1, which is in Mr. Perez's area, for precinct 3 we have Yesenia Rodriguez. For precinct 5, Lizette Barcenas. For precinct 10 we have Marbella Hinojosa. Bless you. And for precinct 12 we have Irene Solis. She had actually been interested for a while, so she was able to assume that role. For precinct 2, which is with Mr. Peña's area, precinct 6, we have Ana Ramos Peña. Precinct 7, Janie Castillo. Precinct 11, Elisa Lujano. And then in precinct 3, in Mr. Garza's area, we have Elizabeth Chapa, Rose Benavides, and Irene Zarate. Precinct 4, which is Mr. Garza's area, precinct 1 remained vacant. So that area will need to be filled moving forward. Precinct 2, Joanna Trevino. She's currently an employee of the county. She filled precinct 2, and I believe that was Amanda Solis's precinct. Precinct 4 remained vacant, and precinct 13 was filled by Cecilia Hernandez, which is Pat Hernandez's daughter. She intends to help out quite a bit, so I'm really happy and excited about moving forward. Our intentions with the Democratic Party is, of course, to keep in close communication with you all, because right now this entire commission is filled with Democratic candidates. I'll be quite honest, my sole mission is to make sure that that remains the same. So I'd like to work very closely with y'all to make sure that our interests are protected, that we do not have any voters who feel intimidated or that there is any misdoings at the poll sites. I've been in communication with our new Republican Party chair, which is Ms. Tony Trevino. We've been working really well together. It may be because we're both very particular about the way things are done. But so far, it's working out really well.
Jessica, but those names you mentioned, that's for election day.
No. These are not workers. These are actually our precinct chairs because there was a change.
Did you mention 10? I didn't hear 10, ma'am. Did you mention 10?
They can be the
Precinct
judge on
10.
election.
You did?
Van a correr, van a hacer el present day, son los jueces.
Pero they don't have to be.
They don't have.
No, they don't have to
Oh,
be.
They got the right to name their judges.
I'm really just mentioning them because there was a change, mainly in precinct 4. The other areas, I think and actually precinct 1, you had some vacancies and those were filled as well. So now we actually have, we only have 2 vacancies as far as the Democratic Party. The Republican Party, I think, has quite a few vacancies. But for now, we're only missing those 2.
I think the only thing is that if in the precinct, if it was won by Democrats, the judge would be a Democrat, the alternate would be a Republican, if they name one. So we need to make sure that we get all the Democratic judges in.
Any questions on in regards to the notice of general primary, other than the changes we've already made, that I will add Saturday to El Cenizo as a location?
I think we already voted on that.
Okay, so then,
Okay.
election workers, okay. Election workers, any questions on those?
It's been moved and second to go ahead and approve
To
this.
approve the list that's been presented to us?
Yes.
Yes.
Any discussion?
I did move.
Okay, all in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is item 10, and it's also an action item. And, I'm sorry, item 9. And this is to approve, really 9 and 10 are very similar, but we'll take them separate. 9 is to approve the contract with SDC to I guess, rent equipment or elections.
Yes, they want us to run their whole election. So that's why I added an estimate. For SDC, they want us to do the whole thing, not just lease our equipment. They want us to do the whole early voting would start April 22nd, and last day would be April 30th, and election day would be May 4th. I have an estimate of $39,000, which I did ask for $35,000 upfront in the contract to pay for this election, and then I would invoice the difference after the election.
Ms. Martinez, you want to go over, maybe I should have skipped to item 11 first,
Oh, okay.
and that's to go over the new rates that we're going to be presenting to the court for approval, and then we can go back to 9 and 10.
Okay.
If it's okay with the court, let me skip over to item 11, and this is to approve increasing charge and cost to lease our equipment.
Yes, for the leasing of equipment, we've been charging $250 for the DS200 and $150 for the Express Vote. Last election in November, I believe, I increased the cost for the poll pads to $75 because we were charging $50 for those. I'm suggesting we increase by Texas Election Code. We can charge 10% of the purchase price of the equipment. So we are quite below the cost. Each DS200 is worth $6,515, and each Express Vote is worth $3,655. So I am suggesting if we can increase the amount to $400 for the DS200 and $300 for the express vote. The poll pads are worth around $750, so at $75, we would remain at what we have them right now.
You said the cost was 6,500?
For each DS200,
Percent
unless,
is 650?
yeah.
Now we'll go with the 10%. Make a motion for a 10%, Your Honor.
The
On
600.
6,500, and the other one, which one?
It,
We'll go with
3,655.
10% on that one too, Your Honor.
Okay, so you wanna go with 10%?
Yeah, 10% across the board. They wanna use our machines, they're gonna have to pay the 10% ads, but you're saying the state?
Yeah,
Your Honor,
it's part
per
of the
the-
Texas election
as per
code.
the state. That's my motion.
Any question? Is there a second to that?
I'll second that.
Okay, moved and second, and, by the way, I think that's a great thing. I didn't know how you're all were gonna react, but, certainly we need the money because the equipment is very
Very
expensive.
expensive, anything broke, we're gonna
We-
have to fix it.
We also have to update every year, and just to update the machinery, the computers, because they're computers, it's $13,000 every year just to update all the systems because they're computers.
How many, of each do we have?
We have 42 DS200s, and we have 42 express votes. And we have poll pads, we have 86.
How many do we rent out or lease out?
Well, for the STC, I have it on their estimate, how many they're gonna need.
So we have 42 of each, and of the pads, we have 86.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, so it won't interfere because for the primary, and then I can lease to both the hospital, and then also we have the runoff in May.
And all of them are operational.
Yes, yeah, we've kept them up to date. Okay. Oh, but for the STC and we do,
Right, but not for ours.
no.
They won't.
Okay, I do have a motion and a second to go 10%. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so that was item 11. Now let's go back to item 10. You might have to adjust your,
My contract, yes.
yeah, and that's the reason I want to have this one first. Okay, so I guess we could approve the contract pending the adjustment of the 10% fee.
Motion to
Yes,
approve,
we'll
Your
go
Honor.
ahead and make that correction.
I'm sorry.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Motion to approve pending the adjustment of 10%.
Second.
Second.
Second, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
No, no, falta number 9, Your Honor.
Number 9.
That was 9, and then 10 is the hospital, which is the same.
Okay, but I thought we had approved that pending the 10%. That was a motion we just carried.
For
right?
number 10, do you wanna join number 9 too on all that? on that
Yeah,
one?
it's the
9
same
and 10.
SDC and the college.
Okay, we'll do both.
Is that okay?
Motion to
with the
approve both,
motion
9 and 10,
second?
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Second.
okay, all in favor, please, aye for both of them.
Both.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
For the contract for the primary, since it's a primary, it doesn't have to pass through Commissioner's Court, but I did sign a contract with both parties for the services. And I do have an estimate also for that.
Okay, that's for the Democratic Party and the.
And the Republican Party. On those, we can't charge, we can only charge a maximum of $5 per machine. And then it's only for the workers on election day that we would get reimbursed. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my estimate, just so that you have kind of an idea
Okay,
of.
this is only informational, because
Yes.
it's not an agenda item, right?
Yes, it's only
Just
informational.
Okay.
But since we're talking about contracts, and you have that on there, I'm gonna go ahead and so that you have it. Reimbursable, that's what we would get, only the election workers.
One comment on this for information for the commissioners. It would be cheaper if we use the same machine for both the Republican and Democrats to vote in the same machine. However, I do not agree with that because that causes confusion on the voters and that want to vote Democrat and they might put it in the Republican machine or vote Republican. So I think if we split and have them in different rooms, I think that would help get the Democrats to the Democratic side, the Republicans to the Republican side. It's going to cost us a little more, but I think it simplifies the election.
Yes, the numbers that are highlighted it's what the media would cost for each party. So if I use one machine for each party, it's around each machine to get the media on it is $1,400. I had recommended using one machine at each site just so that the county would save money. But if you guys want two machines, we'll go ahead and use. We do have the machines available. We have 42.
I think it's well worth the investment, and keep it.
May I make a suggestion? We've actually had conversations, Ms. Tony Trevino, myself, and Armandina about this because I know that particularly the Commissioners Court, you all like to save money. The judge likes to keep things frugal. So I had suggested to Ms. Armandina that even though it sounds great to save the money, that there may be a level of confusion because for the past 100 years we have never had a Republican Party. So this past election was the first time they were offering two different ballots. And so we had the Republicans on one side and the Democrats on this side. And this is the first time it happened and there was a level of confusion. So now we're going to attempt it again and there was going to be a change in the method of going in to vote. I know that maybe like in the Roma area, even, well, in La Rosita, they'll have some opposition, but not like in Precinct 3. In Precinct 3, we've got 2 Democratic candidates for commissioner. We have 2 Republican candidates for commissioner. So the commission may consider that the possibility of maybe in the Roma area that you only use one machine, that would save you costs because it's going to be generally peaceful out there. But when we're talking about the east side, we're going to have some conflicts. So I would like to avoid that as much as possible. Mr. Trevino, Ms. Martinez, and I were all in agreement in that, is that maybe if we look at the areas that are going to have opposition, maybe that would be in our interest to have separate machines and save some money in Roma.
If you go that route.
Around $25,000. Well, if $25,000 would be the cost if I use 4 machines during early voting and 14 during election day.
But how much is it?
Around $25,000.
Well,
And
this
that's
is a
just the
very
media.
important, election. And in my opinion, I think I agree with you, Judge. To avoid confusions and everything, might as well.
Yeah, and it'll give us a good feel for how many Democrats we have in the county and how many Republicans we have in the county. Because we
The
don't
machines
have
will tell the difference. That's why the machines will be able to read the difference of how many to each party.
Yeah,
That's
but a lot of times they'll go in and say, I want to vote for a certain guy, and they give, but they really wanted to vote Democrat, but they gave him a Republican, and I think we need to try and avoid that as much as we can.
all right.
That's my opinion.
I just move that we have.
Well, it's not an agenda item.
It's not an agenda item. This is informational only. I believe the primary contact does not need to pass the Commissioner's Court, if I'm correct. So,
Any other thing?
no. So we will follow your recommendations.
Yeah, it's the elections office. Thank you, Martinez.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item 12. This is a discussion, an agenda item, and this is to, I guess, accept the Operation Stone Garden Award for $3 million for the Sheriff's Office.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second.
Moved and second, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 13 is related to approve the resolution for grant number 3193-409, which is Stone Garden.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and second to approve, discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 14 is an action item, and is to approve the Starr County Treasurer's Office Investment Report. Mr. Gonzalez.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. This is my report for the first quarter, investment report for the first quarter fiscal year 2023-2024. The total investment portfolio in certificate of deposits at the end of December 31, 2023 is at $3,532,030 with 40 cents. The overall interest earned for the first quarter is at $20,650 with 13 cents. As per the terms of the depository contract, county's amount in deposits are properly collateralized in accordance with the pledged securities report from Lone Star Bank, and this report for the first quarter of fiscal year 2023-2024 is prepared in compliance with the Texas Public Funds Investment Act. Also, Judge, I'd like to report that there were 5 CDs that were coming up for renewal, and at the middle of this month, and we were able to negotiate, and we are going to get paid a 4% interest. I think one of them was getting paid 1.5. The other 4 were getting paid 2.25. So it's going to be at 4% that we're going to start getting paid on those ones. The other ones, they're at 3.25, and they're renewing in March. So we're also going to go back and negotiate those. Hopefully we can get them at 4%. And I think there's 2 more. I think one of them is on the gas system has one that renews on the 24th. I believe, Judge, so we'll be able to negotiate that again. So we have several that we've negotiated and gotten 4%, and there's several more that we're going to go back again and do it. So we should be okay as far as money coming in.
I have a motion and second to approve. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 15 is an action item, and this is to name a new street in Precinct 3 in La Victoria as Cemetery Lane. Commissioner Garcia.
Yes, sir. I do so move, Your Honor. These people are being registered, people that live there, and we don't have a name for that street. So we need to name it so we can get in it correctly for 911 purposes. I do so move, Your Honor. Second, Your Honor.
Moved and second to approve. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 16, 17, and 18, we'll take them together. These are donations.
No, I
No,
don't know,
16,
16, Your Honor. This is a
I'm sorry?
contract.
16, there's no contract.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Item 16 is an action item, is to approve a contract for 6 months with RGV Freedom to assist USDA home repair grants and loans. Commissioner?
Yes, sir. This is I'm gonna go into contract with RGV Freedom to help us. Remember that presentation that this lady came by and made?
Yes.
But she wanted volunteers. Nobody's gonna volunteer. So we got a lot of applicants already, about 40 or 50, that wanna apply for the grant. So they're gonna meet to get this thing going. So I do so move, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
Moved and second to approve the contract. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And now we go to 17 and 18, which are donations in the amount of $500 each from Medina Electric to Commissioner Precinct 2 and Commissioner Fire Department Precinct 4.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second.
Moved and second. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Items 19 through 26 are budget amendments, miscellaneous.
Actually, it's not to 27.
To 27. Oh, yeah, through 27.
All in favor,
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and second. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 28 is a budget correction.
Yes, that's another vote.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second.
Moved and second. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 20, and we're back in open session. Only thing we had was order of salaries.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Second.
Moved and second to approve. Discussion. All in favor, please, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and second. All in favor, please, aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.